Hey, are you okay? Okay, let's talk about my childhood. My childhood. Was up and down because of a lot of things that happened in my childhood. I told you guys that here I'm going to open up to you guys and I am going to get emotional sometimes and I'm going to wipe my tears and I'm going to be strong like a strong woman that I am because a lot of people tells me that I am very hardworking lady and I'm very strong lady and refuse to believe it, but right now I've started seeing it, and yeah, that's when I'm like, yes, I'm really strong woman, and I'm very hardworking. I was born in Nigeria, in Onitsha, and I was brought up by my grandmom until I was age 11, I guess, and then moved to Spain. What I can remember from my childhood was a girl that I was living with my mom at some point, and later my dad moved to Spain to look for a better life for us. I didn't come in a poor background, which I am thankful for, but I don't know how I'm going to. So yeah, let's see if I'm not going to get emotional. So my childhood was. I'm looking this way because I just don't want to look at the camera because I might get emotional. My childhood journey, what I can remember as a child, was living with my grandma, because of my mom was living in her parents' house, and my dad moved to Spain because of better life. So I was living in my grandma's house with my grandma's daughter, which because of she lives in another state, which I'm not going to give details. She lives in another state, but she works close to where my grandma lives. So she lives in my grandma's, and during the weekend she goes to another state, and she got family as well. So I was living with my grandma and with my younger sister Jenny, because at that time my elder sister already moved to Spain to live with my dad. So we are three girls. So what I can remember was my grandma bringing me up, and I like we had nannies, we had people that support my grandma because of her age. But what I can remember was a girl. I wish I can speak Igbo. I wish you guys can understand in Igbo because I think I can explain it better in Igbo. A girl that was suffering. I was suffering, and I was using me and my younger sister, but I would say mainly me because my younger sister was very small. I was suffering, and I was using us in that time. Over there, nannies are like people that, let's say, they will bring a girl from a poor home and they will bring them to a house to help this elderly person or to help these people with their needs. So I was treated exactly like the girl, because at that time they normally treat helpers. It's not nanny. They normally treat helpers like, should I use the word slave? So I remember being treated so bad, not being treated bad from people that I meant to be my family member, because of my mom living in her parents' house and my dad not being around. I think that's some of the things that makes me strong. I schooled in a private school, thanks be to my dad, because my dad tried his best to be bringing money, or if not, the house that he own. Whenever every month when they get paid, or every year, I think so, they use the money to pay for our school fees. I remember being a child very ill. Every time I'm ill, and nobody takes me to hospital, they think that is spiritual problem. My grandma, bless her soul, my grandma was into her church. She was into she's very very religious, and the church that she goes is like spiritual kind of thing. So they predict, they tell her things to do, sacrifice, and a lot of things to do because of my illness. So she would do that. At some point I remember them taking me to the river. Hoo, hoo, hoo. Taking me to river, giving me a shower by a man, and knowing at that time I will be like 10 years old. Taking me to the river, giving me a shower by a man, and with animal, doing animal sacrifice, like killing a pigeon and use that pigeon to hit my body, just to do the sacrifice to see if the sickness will go away. But at the same time, I was still sick. I was still sick. Nothing was not spiritual thing. It's something else. So I remember being treated so bad by family members, not my grandma, by family members that was living with us, or sometimes they will come on holiday, stay with us, and then go. They will accuse me of a lot of things like stealing money, drinking. Because that time my grandma was selling drinks, and drinks like Coke, Fanta, alcohol, drink, beer. So they will accuse me, a little girl then, I think I was like 8 years old. Was accused of stealing, drinking, and then put the cover under the bed or whatever. I was accused of stealing money, which has that at that point I remember that I wasn't stealing anything. At that time, I wasn't stealing anything because I was very, very scared. And I remember my mom normally visits us, and then she will give us some money to keep aside, just a pocket money. If we go to school, we use that money. And I remember us taking that money, me and my younger sister, giving it to somebody, one of our neighbors, to keep for us. So whenever we are going to school, we just take the money and go to school because of wasn't giving. And it's not that my dad is not sending money or is not doing things to take care of our kids. He was. This story is more deeper than I just don't know how to explain it, but my childhood was up and down. It wasn't that beautiful. I still remember friends go out with friends. I mean, not go out, like, because I live in a big yard, a big compound, and we are the landlord. So we have houses around us which we own. I remember playing with a lot of kids in the house, in the compound. I think only Nigerians will understand what I mean. And I remember those like it was very very beautiful memories. But I just thank God that my dad at the end just moved us to Spain, because I know you guys will ask me, why didn't my mom took us to her house to live with, to her parents' house? So I will leave it here because I'm getting too emotional, and I think I want to be in a right place to tell you guys the story properly. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time. If you want to continue hearing, if you want to know me more, comment below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye for now.